The ultimate JEE means attempt. Do your best, forget the rest. I had a reasonably good practice of JEE main tests. I always used to start with mathematics, then chemistry, and physics in the end. Doesn't mean that you should mimic it. Unlike today, we used to have only one at Unless today we used to have only one attempt of JEE mains. As usual, I attempted mathematics first, which went quite well. I was able to solve through it. I nonetheless got stuck at a few questions, although I stopped solving such questions in the middle and moved to the next question. I completed my maths paper in 50 minutes. All of a sudden, I discovered that I had left a complete row of questions on a page. I went back and solved all 4 to 5 of them, and it finally took almost 60 minutes in total. Then I moved towards to chemistry. It didn't take me 20 to 30 minutes to solve the subject. However, a wrong question from organic qualitative analysis wasted more than 5 to 8 minutes without fetching me the answer. Later, everyone got bonus marks for that. I wish I had left the question in the very beginning. Physics was very puzzling. It was not high level, not also that I was weak at physics, but still the paper appeared very confusing. The reasons for that could be I hadn't touched physics for a long time due to boards and practicals. I had a poor command on JMain's exclusive topics like semiconductors, diffraction, etc., which comprise a large portion of physics. Physics papers awfully disturbed my calmness. I tried to solve questions, yet I wasn't getting the answer. I had to solve the questions twice or thrice to arrive at the answer. Moreover, the invigilator was chattering with another companion of ours. That noise had been distracting since the beginning. Today I possess the courage, but back in the day I was afraid to confront the invigilator lest I wouldn't offend her. I would offend her. Since I was feeling unable to solve physics paper, I was getting the horrible reminders of my school teachers' taunts, their threats, and so much more. That hadn't happened before, but in the final exam that occurred unexpectedly. For every mistake I made in the physics paper, it reminded me of the atrocities inflicted by all those wicked people. Those those thoughts were deeply distracting and depressing. I was broken and didn't want to solve further. I kept on going ahead anyhow. These horrible thoughts were persistently reverberating in my head, but I solved the paper as much as I could. I was very optimistic in the first 1.5 hour of the paper. I had completed two full subjects in it, but physics, despite giving one and a half hour to it, was not attempted well. I had plenty of time, therefore, I somehow managed to attempt more than 86 to 87 questions out of 90. After fully attempting the paper, I forgot about those horrible thoughts completely. In fact, I was happy about attending such a large portion of the paper. I was thinking my speed in maths and chemistry that despite all the panic, I was able to complete even physics thoroughly. Furthermore, towards the end of the paper, I was running short of rough workspace for the physics section. I needed space to solve the question. I knew how to solve the question, but I didn't have paper. I exhausted all the pages I had, including my admit card, yet I was short of paper. I had a big handwriting, which was a problem. After finishing the paper, anyhow, on my way out of the examination center, I met an acquaintance who happened to ask me how my paper went. I replied that I was expecting somewhere around 320 to 340. I told my father, who was waiting for me outside the exam hall, that the exam went remarkably well. However, when I tallied my answers with the unofficial answer keys that evening, I was aghast. I realized that I had lost more than 80 marks in silly mistakes. 80 marks out of 360. My predicted score was 225 according to the answer key. I remembered that classmate words who told me that surpassing 300 in JEE was impossible. I rested my head on my hand in disappointment and didn't know how to confess that to my father. It was shocking for me. it would surely be more shocking to him. Our brain stops functioning in the face of danger, therefore, should learn throughout our journey to deal with our anxiety. It is a long process, but if we are determined enough, this too can be overpowered. The emotional aspects of JE or even life are generally neglected, but emotions do play a significant role in our success. I talked to my heart self after J means. It takes 10 times as long as to put yourself back together as it does to fall apart. After screwing up the J means, I had a turbulent stream of thoughts. I was thinking that I knew what I deserved a far beyond 300, but the torturous, uh, torturous flood of thoughts debilitated me during the exam. I have always been courageously facing whatever destiny threw at me, no matter how dreadful. But this was the final JEE mains exam. If it happened with me in JEE mains, what is the guarantee it won't happen in JEE advance? Will I even be able to make it to IIT? I wish that there hadn't been so many wild and inhibiting people in my life. If only I had refined guidance throughout my JEE preparation, I was perhaps wrong to think that I could do it all through self study. I could not do this. I surely don't even deserve to be in IIT. There have been numerous people in the best batches of the best coachings of the country. Only they deserve to be there. People have been preparing for it since their sixth class. How could I even imagine to crack JEE with just 4 months of raw, unguided preparation? And what about relentless hard work I did? The sacrifices I made? I haven't even smiled much for a long time. What was it worth? Look at your face, swollen due to excessive fat since you didn't pay attention to your health only to prepare for JEE. Have you have you gained 15 kgs weight only to get nothing in the end? I thought I had an opportunity to uplift my life through JEE, but it is most likely I was just daydreaming. Everyone has betrayed me. The coaching institute snatched my money, yet didn't provide me with the training. The school siphoned off all the time, yet didn't provide me with education or even freedom of self study. I trusted street engineers, yet they gave me deleterious advice. I always helped everyone selflessly, yet they were jealous of me. Now, even Jay, to which I had devoted my heart and soul, also betrayed me. Now, would it be any beneficial at all to struggle further for J advance? After all this, I became very resentful towards everything and lost faith in hard work. I started wasting as much time as I could. Remarks. After my defeat, small or big, our brain tends to become hopeless. Even if we want to work towards our goal, the thoughts paralyze us. After 5 years now, I have figured out its solution. Look within yourself and repeatedly ask, is the situation altogether hopeless? Can nothing be done no matter what? Is this indeed the worst that can happen to me? Doubt your brain's understandings of the situation. Your brain biologically extends to exaggerate the situation. It, in fact, significantly shuts down its logical and cognitive functioning in the face of threat or defeat. When you try to look at the things as they indeed are, neither exaggerating nor underrating it, just looking at them as they are for real, our anxiety drops and we can work thereafter. Sometimes the anxiety kicks in again, to the same remedy again until this behavior gets embedded in your character.